My heart shattered the day I learned Sarah, my best friend of 30 years, stole my life's work. We met in college, two dreamers with pens and ambition, bonded by late-night talks and shared secrets. I poured my soul into a novel, a tapestry of love, loss, and redemption inspired by my mother's battle with illness. Every word was a piece of me, written through tears, sleepless nights, and endless revisions. Sarah was my rock, the only one I trusted with my manuscript. She read every draft, her encouragement a lifeline through my darkest days. I believed our friendship was unbreakable, a sacred bond forged in trust. I was wrong, and the betrayal cut deeper than any wound I'd ever known. When my mother died, grief consumed me. I threw myself into the novel, writing to honor her memory. My father's illness followed, and I juggled hospital visits, a teaching job, and my manuscript, trusting Sarah to safeguard my work. I never imagined she'd betray me. But when I submitted my novel to a publisher, their response was a knife to the chest. It was already published, under Sarah's name. My story, my words, my mother's legacy, all claimed by the person I loved like a sister. She had taken everything. My voice, my dreams, my truth, and left me with nothing but a hollow ache. I stood in my cramped apartment, staring at Sarah's book on a bestseller list, its cover mocking me with my own words. The dedication, to a friend who inspired me, was a cruel twist, a lie draped in flattery. I saw her on TV, radiant at book signings, basking in applause for a story she didn't write. I called her, my hands trembling, but she didn't answer. I sent messages, begging for an explanation, but they went unread. The world celebrated her, unaware of the theft. I felt like a ghost, erased by the one person who knew my heart. My mother's memory, woven into every page, was now a stranger's triumph. The injustice burned, a fire in my chest that wouldn't fade. I could have let despair swallow me. I could have screamed at the world, but rage alone wouldn't reclaim what was mine. I needed proof. Years ago, I'd backed up every draft of my novel on an old USB drive, tucked away in a box of my mother's keepsakes, a locket, her favorite scarf, a faded photo of us. I'd also kept emails where Sarah commented on my chapters, timestamps proving I wrote them first. My journal, filled with scribbled ideas and dates, was another piece of evidence, a map of my creative journey. I'd saved these things not out of suspicion, but because my mother taught me to protect what mattered. That USB drive, those emails, that journal, they were my salvation, my way to fight back. Sarah's star rose higher. She was invited to a glittering literary gala, the kind of event I dreamed of attending as a writer. I saw her on social media, draped in elegance, posing with authors I admired, her smile a mask built on my stolen words. The sight of her thriving while I faded was a fresh wound, but I refused to break. I contacted the publisher, sending them my evidence, drafts, emails, journal pages. I didn't demand justice. I simply asked them to see the truth. I also reached out to a journalist known for exposing literary scandals, sharing my story and my proof. I wasn't seeking revenge. I wanted my voice back, not just for me, but for every writer whose work is stolen, every dreamer silenced by betrayal. The night of the gala was unbearable. I sat in my apartment, watching the live stream, my heart pounding against my ribs. Sarah took the stage, her voice smooth as she accepted an award for her novel. She spoke of her creative struggle, every word a lie that twisted my stomach. Then, the host's expression shifted. He held a note, his voice hesitant as he announced an investigation into the book's authorship. My evidence had reached them. The journalist's article, published that morning, laid bare my proof, timestamps, emails, my journal's dated entries. The room froze, and Sarah's face drained of color, her charm collapsing under the weight of her deception. Whispers rippled through the crowd, eyes turning to her, not with admiration, but with doubt. The fallout was swift. The publisher pulled Sarah's book, her contract was cancelled, and her name became a cautionary tale in literary circles. She tried to explain, claiming it was a misunderstanding, but the evidence was ironclad. My novel was republished under my name, with an apology and a generous advance. I saw it in bookstore windows, my mother's story finally where it belonged. I didn't feel triumph watching Sarah fall. I felt a quiet relief, like a weight lifting from my soul. I'd reclaimed my truth, not just for me, but for the memory of my mother, whose life inspired every page. Sarah sent me a letter, her words dripping with regret, begging for forgiveness. I read it, then set it aside. Some wounds heal, but some scars remain. I found purpose now, teaching at a community writing workshop, helping others guard their voices. I tell them about my mother, about the novel, about the betrayal. They listen, their eyes wide, and I see myself in them, dreamers who deserve to be heard. My book is on shelves, and readers write to me, saying it moved them to tears. That's enough. That's more than enough. Looking back, I see the lesson etched in pain. Trust is a gift, but it must be earned, not given blindly. My mother's voice echoes in my mind. Hold your dreams tight, but your proof tighter. Sarah's betrayal taught me that even those we love can falter, but the truth is a flame that cannot be extinguished. It may flicker, buried under lies, but it always finds a way to burn bright. To anyone watching, I hope you carry this with you. Your work, your story, your heart, they're yours alone. Protect them fiercely, because no one can steal your truth unless you let them.